Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel. Thank you very much for joining us here at CCSC. Welcome back. We are going to build an airport using the brand new Airports DLC released yesterday for PlayStation 4 and Xbox systems. This is our airport that we build in today's episode. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into it. Thank you for joining the channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. Let's get it started. We are using our new Washington, D.C. map from 2021's build, and we're going to replace the existing airport that we have here. However, the very first thing that we need to do is delete pretty much all of this. We're going to remove the airport, and I'm going to remove all of this area here and extend this highway along kind of a line like this. These airports use so much space. Unfortunately, that is one downfall with the DLC, is they pretty much use an entire square tile of land. The highway doesn't run as smooth as I would like it to. Where you could go in and terraform and redefine and make that a little bit better. However, we're going to try and get through this episode very quickly because it is a very long episode, a lot to cover. So whenever you place down your airport industry, the first thing that you have to do is paint an airport area. And much like every other DLC, it kind of works the same way. You reach a certain point, you unlock some things, you reach a certain point. This only goes up to level 3. Different from every other DLC, when you use this paint area tool, it is going to make everything level. So we're going to go ahead and try and stick with the level area that we had for our last airport, and you're going to see how much space we're going to need here. And we already have too much soil, so let's discuss my favorite aspect of this DLC. My absolute favorite aspect of this DLC is the ability to sell and buy soil. You no longer have to build mountains, tear down mountains, readjust mountains. Most of this is terraforming to add all of this land down here. Most of this mountain was removed to complete that project. Now we don't have to do that. We can buy land, we can ship it in, we can move soil. So we're gonna sell some soil, and then we're gonna go back to our paint tool. And after spending $100,000 softening the edges of the terrain for the airport area, you can see it is still very, very jagged. It's not the best spot. We didn't design this city to build this DLC because when we started this city, this DLC was not available. So we didn't plan on building this gigantic airport in our city. We planned this city by having the airport that we had laid down. However, that's fine, and this has been a spectacular DLC in the fact that I knew nothing about airports. Learning a lot about airports in the research trying to do this. I actually recorded this video twice. And was not happy with the way that it was, so I went and watched a bunch of videos on understanding how airport function, how they work, what everything is. Now that we've got our, and it's broadened my education immensely. Now that we've gotten this all leveled out a little, it still looks kind of bad, but it looks tolerable, it looks bearable, and we have a nice level playing surface up here for Birdsong Airport. So the very first thing that you need to do is add a terminal. There are 3 different options for style of airport that you want to build. We have classic airport terminal and then a double, and that is the same, a 2-story, classic 2-story. And that's the same all the way down. We have classic, we have modern, and we have ultra modern. Now, all 3 of these function the exact same way. They're all doing the same thing. Pretty much it is the design layout for the airport that you plan on building. Now, I've built the classic and I've built the ultra modern, because as I said, I've done this twice already. We're going to go ahead and go with the modern, but it's just the aesthetics. That's all it is. So I've got kind of an idea of how I want to do this in a better fashion to make this a better airport. So we're going to go ahead and discuss our game plan here. We've placed the modern 2-story terminal right here, and the game plan that we have is I want to have 2 separate airports. So what you find out is at level 3 is that you unlock cargo terminals. So we're going to have kind of 2 separate entrances, and really we're going to kind of have 3 separate entrances, but we'll cover that a little bit later. First thing we're going to do is connect these roads, and I'm just going to do a very simple, quick road. Let's go ahead and run parallel with this. And probably come about there and down to about there, maybe a little bit further, and then we'll do a nice curve. And that intersection there is going to change, trust me. It's not going to stay that. However, for right now, that's what we're going to go with. And let's real quick talk about the other aspect of the DLC that I love. So one is being able to buy and sell soil. The other aspect is this tree-lined road here. This is the standard tree-lined road in the base gameplay. And when you purchase this DLC, the Airports DLC, you unlock, oh, here it is. You unlock Trees Creator Content Pack. This Creator Content Pack has quite a few different trees. Burl pine, California palm. I wanted to find something I could pronounce. We've also got coconut tree. It has 14 different trees. And you can also upgrade the trees on the road now. You can change the preset trees and make them fit into the concepts of your gameplay. You can make them look beautiful with this pink tree here. You can also then flourish a few other trees on the outside to make it kind of blend in a little bit better. That's another aspect of the game that I absolutely love. Thank you for putting that in. That's really cool. It's very monotonous to have the same tree-lined roads all over your city. Everywhere you go, it's the same trees. And you can also add bushes instead of trees. Some of the things to unlock are these bushes here, and you can have just little bushes next, which looks really nice too. And we'll go ahead and go with that for right now, and we'll remove these trees. There's our first entrance. We're gonna do a pretty big curve to keep the intersections separate. And here is our second entrance, and it'll go ahead and add a bridge at the end there. If you want, you can adjust the bridge and extend the bridge down depending on what kind of infrastructure you have. Also, I'm looking at, you could even not for this game, not for this build, but you could even take this bridge out and cross over. I'm thinking it would be possible. Cross over this road, yes, and go into a completely different direction. You can't do that, but you could do this like that, which looks really pretty cool. That actually, I like that better. That looks really cool. And then this could be the long one. Yeah, I like that way better. So let's go ahead and go straight first and extend this down, and then go to the curve tool. And just to show you what both types you could do, we'll go ahead and leave it just like that. But that's kind of cool. I like that. And you could probably make this look a little bit better. And that looks a little bit more realistic, actually. Yeah, I really like that. That looks cool. Having the road go underneath that way looks really nice. So nonetheless, my apologies, got on a little tangent there. We are going to go to our inspector tool, and if we review our city, or our airport, Birdsong Airport, we need to build an airport terminal. We've done that. We need to build an aircraft stand. We need to do that, and we need to build a runway. But if you go to your tools over here, you don't have any of those unlocked. You can't build any of these. You can't build a runway. You can't build hangars or anything. You have to hit play. It took me about 10 minutes to figure it out. I was like, what's going on? Why can't I build any of this? You have to hit play if you've paused the game. Then it will reach its level 1 status. If you do the Industries DLC, as soon as you put down that building, it reaches level 1. You have to hit play, and then you can hit pause again. Now that we've unlocked all the other things that we can access here, we can go ahead and start our build, and we're going to start with concourses. And this is our concourse to match. And I want to try and get kind of towards... Actually, we might just go straight for right now, because I think that'll reach the angle that I want to reach later. So let's go ahead and do just a linear airport for right now, and maybe we'll add some fingers off the end. So this is going to be the smaller plane area of our airport. And this is going to have the smaller runway. So now that we've built the concourses, we can go ahead and build the runway. And the smaller runway is going to come on this little cliff here. The larger runway is going to come on this little area over here by the highway. So the smaller runway, and it's not going to look like it's long enough, but it is. The smaller runway, and I think we're actually going to go parallel. And it's going to come off there. We're going to give a little bit of distance, but not much. You don't have much space. And this is going to launch off straight over the university, which is kind of cool. I think that'll look cool, and I think both of these runways going right around the stadium. One, the stadium's loud anyway, so it doesn't matter, but I think the fans, I think that'd be cool to see from a stadium aspect anyway. So I think this is going to work. It's not exactly what I would much rather have a whole tile to work with and try and build this DLC outright, but hey, we don't have that. Now we're going to put in some small aircraft stands, and that is plenty of room to start our airport. We need to just connect a nice circular system of traffic coming in and out of these areas so that the planes can enter and exit. And this is a lot tighter than I would like it. It shouldn't be this close to the runway. You need so much space for these airports. It's insane how much space you need. So we're going to come here. This is the entrance to the runway. And we're going to continue down along this area. And actually, we're going to come down like this, and then over. So you can enter or exit there. We'll do something like that. And then I would like to use the curve tool over here, but I think we have 2 nodes here. Yep, so we can do the curve tool on each side. And make a little more smoother of a bend. Something like that. So that is the exiting traffic off the runway and the entering traffic. So this needs to change direction. So in case you need to bypass the runway, come up this way. You can enter the runway, or you can bypass it and turn back around and enter again. And then this is the entrance for everything. Now we've finished our temporary kind of placement of how we're going to keep everything for the first wing of the airport. Now this first little terminal area, as you can see, this is our runway up here. Very small runway, and these are our taxi lanes. Unfortunately, there's only one taxi lane to get on the runway. It's to minimize space. That was pretty much all I could do. There's only one to get on, but there's 2 to get off. So if you go to the right up here, your plane is coming down and you're going to one of these 3 or one of these 2 terminals over here. There's 2 in here, 3 over here. You can bypass these terminals if you need, but all it's going to do is get you back onto the runway. Now, if you go to the left up here, you come down to these 3 terminals. This terminal over here and these 3 little hangar stations. These 3 stations here, and then as they exit, they depart, they come back onto this main road and get back onto the runway. Now, we can go ahead and hit play because this is all operational, and we can start on a slow speed, and we can add our aircraft control towers. Now, your control tower should be able to see the entire runway field, and actually, we are going to go ahead and extend these concourses down anyway. That should work pretty well. Can't see the planes over there, but it should be fine. And let's go ahead and add our water pipes. And now we've got water and electric supplied to the building. You can already see planes are bumping into each other. That's not the aesthetic that I wanted. There's just so little space in building this airport. Like I said in the beginning, you need pretty much an entire tile to build this thing and make it look good and have it function correctly. But we're going to bump this up to 3 times speed. We'll watch these planes take off over our stadium. And our first passenger planes have taken off. We've got 2 planes in the sky. Ladies and gentlemen, fully functional fully functional airport right here, Birdsong Airport. You can see there is an old metro line down here from whenever we removed the last metro station. And we can deal with that. You can see there's still people waiting for this line, which is never coming back. This is the pink line, so we can go ahead and delete this line. And does that get rid of the people? No, of course not. We have 10 passengers, and 500 is the next level. Attractiveness, we're at 80, and we need to get to 200. We're going to add a couple assets for attractiveness. We're going to add a small hotel. We'll go ahead and do this off camera, and we'll come right back and show you what we've done. So we've added 3 of these budget hotels, and that has reached our attractiveness level. That's all we needed to add. We've also added the bus station over here. We need to add a bus depot in town and take advantage of that bus station. Now, we've got a plane coming in. Let's go ahead and pause this because I can never catch them moving. We've got 50 passengers landing. That is fantastic. So they land there on the end, slow down at the end of the runway, and then they turn to the direction that they need to go. And there we have it, our first little aspect of the airport. We need some water lines down here at this hangar. We have plenty of attractiveness. We're just waiting on passengers. That's not where water lines are. We're just waiting on passengers. We'll just go ahead and run that down. And we need, let's go ahead and go to our inspection tool here. And we need attractiveness 340. We're well over that. We just need passengers. We're going to wait until we get to 500 and then we'll pick it back up. We'll be right back. Birdsong Airport has reached level 2. The following buildings have unlocked. We now have large hangar, luxury airport hotel, and then a few of the concourses that are part of each individual 3 different style. We also have aviation fuel station, and elevated metro, and airport lounge. As you can see, I'm already starting to build our second runway. But we need to do a lot of work to implement all of these things. So whenever you unlock the second level, you can see you've got a classic for your classic large terminal and a concourse hub. And it's the same with all of them. You've got a modern large terminal and a concourse hub. Now both of these have subway stations in them too, so you can make them their own little bitty self-connecting areas. So like this, I really like just the picture of this. So there's a subway station in this, so you can connect the subway station underground using a metro, and people can check in, they can drive up to the airport, they can check in, they can go through security. Then in your main terminal, they can get into a subway station and go out to this ultra-modern concourse hub. This ultra-modern concourse hub can have planes all around it. So you don't need to worry about all of this, running out of area. So we're going to go ahead and implement that and get into everything that we've unlocked. The luxury hotel, we're going to throw down right here for right now. If we can. Yeah, we're just going to put that down right there for right now. That is the luxury hotel. It's actually closer to the airport, so I think it would be a little bit better. Switch the budget and the luxury, but nonetheless. And this is one of the other amenities that we've unlocked. This is our airport lounge. We'll go ahead and add this right here, just for now. Just one of those, and you can look out at the fine taxi terminal or bus terminal, and you can look over the city. Not too bad. Not too bad. Not much of a view. However, we've unlocked quite a bit more. We've got the elevated airport metro station, and I don't think we can put this down now. We're going to have to do a lot of work off camera to get all of these things in here. Let's go ahead and get right into it. The very first thing that we want to do is add our second terminal, and our modern terminals are over here. So this is going to be our second terminal, and this will be the other access point as you come in. And I'm thinking something like this. And then whenever we unlock the cargo terminal, that cargo terminal is going to go somewhere over here. And they're going to share the same large runway that we've just built. So this terminal here, we can go ahead and get to work. This is the modern terminal pack. We can go ahead and get to work by connecting it. And the very first thing that we're going to do is pause the game. And we're going to go off camera. We're going to build a roundabout right here. We're going to have that roundabout go 2 ways. It's going to go to the left. It's going to go to the right. That roundabout's then going to go past this main terminal, come around here, and eventually we'll have our cargo terminal down here and meet up with a cargo train terminal as well. We're going to do a lot of work off camera, and we'll be right back. And as you can see, we have completed a few things. And once again, you just need so much room to build all this stuff. We're going to go ahead and hit play. It takes up so much space. It's insane. We did move this building here, our main entrance building, and to try and save space, we're just going to come straight down this way. To try and save space, we put it at the edge of the roundabout, which I think looks pretty good. We can't utilize any of the docking bays behind it. However, we built an exterior area here, and that works. It suffices. Are we still not connected with water? So we've got this right on the edge of the roundabout, which I think looks pretty nice. So as you come in, to the airport area. You go to the left on the roundabout, and then you come up here, and this is a one-way 6-lane that splits into 2 4-lanes, goes to the upper level, the lower level, and then comes back off and separates into 2 different exits. It looks all right. I'm trying to use as much space as possible. We did complete the other runway, so it's a little bit longer runway for bigger planes. However, there is an option for all planes to go ahead and use this runway should they need. If you look at our road circular patterns, so the planes coming off over here, the smaller planes, they can actually go across the runway and then down here and come down to this longer runway if they want. I don't know that any of them will, but I'm trying to keep everything separate anyway. So the medium docking stations are over here, and they go up to the runway right there. As you can see, everything, it all comes in. Either you exit left or right, and if you exit left, you come down here and then enter these 4 docking stations. If you exit right, you come down here, and then you have to cross traffic and then come down and enter the same way. Exiting, you come to this, and it has a fork in the road, and you can go left or right, but either way, it takes you right here, and then you launch off over our wonderful city. We're running out of room drastically. I don't know that we're going to have much room for cargo. This stuff isn't exactly where it should be. If you watch a few videos of the way airports are laid out, you wouldn't have fueling stations in the middle of your runways. You wouldn't have hangars in the middle of your runways. However, we need to maximize as much space as possible in this build, because again, we didn't plan on building a giant airport like this. We do need to add a couple more things for attractiveness, and then we're just waiting on passenger count. So let's go ahead and add a couple things. So we need, oh, I know what we need. And no, it is this one. We need another one of these for the other. Let's go ahead and put it down. Can we, right there maybe? What's that look like? Yeah, that's not the best, but that'll work. At least it gives them a whole view of the runway. So we've got another air traffic control center, and that tower will go there, and then we can probably just add another one of these, or 2. Let's do right there, and that should get us our attractiveness that we need. That doesn't have much of a view. You're staring at a bridge. That one you're staring at a little hill. But nonetheless, just an instructional video once again. This is not even going to stay in the game. Well, I don't know. We might save it in the game. This build is pretty much done. Attractiveness, we are up to level. We just need to wait on 5,000 passengers. We'll be right back. And we have reached level 3. We have finally unlocked the Aviation Museum, parked cargo planes, large, airport train station, cargo terminal, airline headquarters building. This is where you make money with this DLC. Cargo train station and large aircraft stand. Now, I did happen to notice that we have a queue of people waiting over here, and that's because we don't have another option. They have to go this way. They have to wait on the plane in front of them if the plane is waiting for something else. They can't just circle around. We kind of screwed the pooch on that one, so we've got quite a few planes just waiting over here. It's just, again, it's not enough space. Ideally, you need double the space that I'm working with here. We're trying to squeeze everything in. Let's go ahead and review what we've unlocked. We now have large aircraft stands, so we can get large aircraft in. But the main thing that I want to access, there's not much. So we have this second runway over here. There's not much traffic on the second runway. There's not many of these large planes coming in, or whatever, the medium planes coming in, the jet planes. These jet planes hold 200 passengers. The large planes, I'm not sure what they come in at, but we just don't have enough room to even worry about a lot of that. So we're going to go ahead and add our airport cargo train station right here. And as you can see, I've already run a train line up, so we can go ahead. Now we have our cargo train terminal. And this should start working anytime now. I don't really want to run power lines down here, but we'll go something like that. And all this needs to be cleaned up and reorganized. But this is just to show you what we got for $12.99. So we've got the large ones. What else do we got? You know what we need to put down is the headquarters, which is right. So this is our cargo airport terminal. Oh man, way too big. Way too big. There's no way we're gonna fit that. Oh, that is way too big. Let's see if we can delete that out. Maybe we can shove this over here somehow. This is way too great. This is way too big though. We're not going to be able to fit this in here. So maybe if we destroyed all those. I did desperately want to show you the cargo aspect of it, and we may figure out a way to do that, but let's go ahead and put down the headquarters building, which is right here. And we're going to put the airline headquarters on this street back here. But first, I want to get the aviation center. So the aviation museum, the aviation museum is like a lot of those buildings that is flipped around. It is flipped back to front, so that everything that you want to see is actually on the back side of the building. Where's the museum? Yep. And we're going to put that right there. So as you drive in and turn around here, then you can see all of the cool planes that are on the back sides. The other building we're going to add is going to be our aviation headquarters, or airline headquarters, whatever it's called. Just enough space. So this is our headquarters building. And this is where you start making money. So let's pause this real quick. This is where you start making money with this DLC. We can go to our inspector tool, and now we have an airline. We have our own airline. Right now our expenses are $17,000. Income $19,000. With this, we can now implement our own ticket prices. We can bump those up. And you want to get it probably right about there. You don't want the attractiveness modifier, -8, you don't want too much of that. However, we'll start it at $50. We'll start it right there. We'll see how this works. We could name our airline. And we're going to change our little insignia here. And we'll go with, I don't know, what do you think? The paper airplane? Let's go with the paper airplane. Pink and teal? I don't know about that. Let's go with this one. Orange and brown? Yeah, sure. Palm trees. We'll go with palm trees. We'll change the color. You can change it to whatever you want. And we'll go with, red? Sunset? Palm trees? That looks good. Red and yellow. Orangish red. Dark red. None of this matters. We'll go ahead and make it red. But with the airline, your own airline, then you can actually start making some money. We've already reached level 3, so we don't need to do anything with that. We can turn this back on, let the game go. We need to add some water. We're going to delete this building, and we're going to try our darndest to get this cargo terminal in over here. So after deleting the taxiways, we can just barely squeeze this thing in over here. And it's not going to look pretty, but we're going to go ahead and do it and try and show you. Yeah, see, it's already on. It's not on a level area, but we're going to try and do this and see if we can't make this work. Let's go ahead and go to our straight tool. We're going to connect this straight tool. We're going to connect this road with an industry street. We're going to connect this road with an industry street. We're going to do the same thing around the back. Connect that road. Connect that road. We have a weird little loop here. However, it does work. And there is our cargo station. Now, the cargo terminals work as the same way as any kind of main building for any of the Industries DLC. This is the headquarters for your city services for the cargo airport. Now, you can do a separate cargo airport. You can have this all on a separate feed, have a whole separate area. And let's go ahead and find our roads. And let me show you. We can do a couple roads. Are they over here? Yes. We've got a large road. Slope too steep. Nice. We've got a large road. Let's see if we can just put this down. We've got a large road that connects this way. And then we've got a small road that connects this way. And we can go ahead and delete these immediately. We're not going to worry about the roads. We're just trying to get this functional. And here is your cargo... Nope. Here is your cargo aircraft stand. Right next to your aviation fuel station and your airport cargo train station, which we have the airport cargo train station already implemented over here. So we need to add a couple of these, and we'll add one on each side. And we're going to go to the very front since the land is all messed up already, and hopefully we can utilize these and make them work. I'm not too positive on how close we are here. Let's go off camera, try and finagle this in here. So I wanted to point out, I'm noticing that some of these planes aren't landing on the runway. They're just landing on the taxi lanes. Let's see, is there another one coming in? I've noticed that a few times now. They're not landing on the runway. They're just landing on the taxiway and then riding right in. I'm not sure exactly why. Don't know if that's a problem with maybe something I did, but I don't think so. We have completed the cargo area over here. However, we've got 2 cargo stations here. Neither of them. No active flights. No active flights. So I'm wondering if it's because this thing is running. Everyone who's bringing their cargo here are just taking it to the train station. So we're going to go ahead and turn this off and see if this gets us any cargo flights. Let's see. We got another plane landing. Let's see if it actually uses the runway. Looks like it is. Yeah, okay. And there's a plane taking off on our second runway. There's definitely a much better way to utilize the space. As mentioned, I just started watching video. I never thought about an airport before in my life until I downloaded this DLC. Now I'm like, oh, airports. It does have a lot of congestion and a lot of different ways to manage it. This is going to be a really cool DLC, and I'm really pumped. But this is just not enough room. And as you can see, we are pretty much maybe almost a half a tile. And if you look, the original airport that we had here was this big. That's it. That's how big it was. This is already, I would say, double the size, if not maybe even triple the size. Definitely double the size. I think triple the size. This is already triple the size, and we don't have enough room. Even the Metropolitan Airport, which is a little bit bigger, is maybe a quarter of this. Maybe a third of this. We already don't have enough room, and it's gigantic. It takes up so much space. If on PC, this would be a home run. You get a whole tile or two to build a giant airport kind of outside of your city. This would be fantastic. On console, it's going to take up a lot of space. You can only get up to 9 tiles on console, and it's going to take one of your tiles, pretty much. Maybe, 3/4 of a tile to get it operational and get everything looking good and have all these taxi lanes where you're not getting congestion. This runway over here, we were trying to get 2 taxi lanes right outside of it, and it never happened. It's just so big. It's cool. It's a really cool DLC, and I'm pumped, but it's so big. We're gonna wait until we get our first cargo station, cargo plane coming in, and then we will end the episode. And this is our very first cargo airplane. It just landed. It has taken quite a while. I'm not exactly sure why. This is our first cargo airplane, so that is what these planes look like. I am thinking maybe it had something to do with this. Now that we've got one to land, though, we can turn this back on. And there is our first cargo plane. Interesting. So, yeah, that's really interesting. So all of these, so most of your hangars, sorry, not your hangars, most of your docking stations, your stands, most of your stands have to be put up next to concourses. All of these have to be on concourses. All of these need to be against roads. So it looks like as soon as the plane lands, just a bunch of cars come off of the plane full and ready to go. Not the greatest realism, but hey, it works. So that is our little cargo area. That's really all you need. We could beautify that and make it look a lot better, get it onto a better grade, but that's it. So as the planes come in and they land, they will follow down, come up here, exit, dump all of their inventory, reload all of their inventory, and then drive back around and take off again. That is essentially, that is everything that you need to know about the airport's DLC. There it is. That's all she's wrote. We'll go ahead and take a look real quick. We've got 1,400 passengers, 14,000 passengers. Attractiveness, whenever you raise the ticket airline price, we raised it from 50 to 64. It just drops your attractiveness down. So if you raise the price too much, you just have to add more attractiveness stuff. Makes sense. Not too bad of a trade-off. Passenger seats, used only 60%. We should change that. That should be a lot better. Maybe we lower the price. Let's go ahead and lower that down to $50. See if that brings that up. Incoming, outgoing, 100% outgoing. So there's plenty of stuff to access, plenty of stuff to do, plenty of stuff to build. All of these cars coming down here off this cargo terminal over here. This is really cool. This is a really cool DLC, and I cannot wait. There's another plane just landing on the... I don't know why they're doing that. They're not landing on the runway. Cheaters! This is a really cool DLC. I'm very happy I bought it. $12.99 right now. This is the airport fence, in case you were wondering. It looks very menacing. Don't want to cross that. Very happy I bought this. $12.99 on the PlayStation Store right now. You can get it on Xbox, on PC. It's really fun. Once I get a lot more land, building it in this little town did not really do it justice. It could be a lot better and a lot more fun, but as you can see, it's really cool. Ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it for this episode. This is Airports DLC, released January 25th, 2022 on PC, or sorry, on PlayStation 4. I bought it yesterday. I've been playing it for, I don't know, 14 hours straight, other than the few hours I had to go to work. Love it. Download it. It's amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining the channel. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you next time.